What's up, people? It's Kim from the Stiffs. Now, I'm sure you're all shocked that I'm uploading twice in a week, but trust me, as long as this pandemic is going on and I have stuff to play, there will be uploads. And I'm coming back with another top 5 low profile base locations videos, because they're the only real things that get me views, and it seems to be the only real thing I can do at the minute. So, enough of the whole self-pity malarkey. Let's get into it. This episode is far better than the Valguera one. I've truly found some juicy spots here. Now, of course, little disclaimer before we get into the video. I'm sure those of you, the vast majority, have already seen my other episodes, but for those of you who haven't, the key with this sort of thing is obviously not to judge the location. It depends on the situation that you're in, whether you're a solo player, you're on unofficial, you don't have build restrictions, or you're just a small tribe trying to prefab, whatever the case may be. Just watch the video and see if it caters to you. As per usual, I would recommend building in stone for the most part, depending on the situation, building as small as you possibly can, and using paint wherever you can. Now, for this location, we are in the bog. We are up in the trees. Of course, there are so many trees throughout the bog that are pretty popular. However, I didn't realise you could just build on the standard trees. So I just found a standard tree, not in the mission area, with a nice metal spawn. And definitely low-key, I mean, looking around, you can see all the resources you've got access to. And nobody's going to notice your base up here. They're just not. You get your hands on a Bloodstalker, a nice low-level one, and you got yourself sorted. Especially with Genesis, you know, you've got the shot. Just use your hex guns, buy whatever you need to make this little metal base, and you're sorted. Okay, so this location is my favourite location, and I think anyone can find it useful. It's tried and tested as well. I've used it for myself. So you can see my little hut, and it's out in the open. It's on flat ground, which you might think is a bit bizarre, but I would highly recommend you to build here. It's on the map border. It's spacious. There's pretty much, okay, I'm not going to say every resource, but there's a plethora of resources. You've got metal, wood, fibre, rocks, flint, whatever you want. It's pretty much here. Obviously, if you need anything else, you can just teleport. It's more a case of how you get here, which is why it's so low profile and crucial to your survival. But the thing is, it's so low profile. You could build in the shade along the rocks for a little solo player. You could even have an alpha tribe here. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not sugarcoating this location. It is really great, real spacious, and once again, it's not in the mission zone. So if I show you how to get here, I do apologise, I can't remember the spawn. I think it's southwest, or northwest. I'd have to check. But basically, there's a spawn here, right on this path where I am, and you would move to the right along this path, but then as you can see, there's a little crack through the trees, which again, I doubt not many people are going to notice or make an effort to go through. You go through the crack, you're still not in the location. You go down the slope, around the corner, and this is where I've whacked the base. So you've got so many opportunities to not get found, and you've even got a cliff above you for more turret towers, extra storage, or just being extra low profile, which once again, not in the mission zone. You could build around this corner. You've just got so many options. I think it's so overpowered. Admittedly, I probably shouldn't be showing it, but I can guarantee you, as I've said, it's tried and tested. It's something that I've done. It's something I've done, and it's something I would advise you to do if you want to survive. It is perfect. Xbox One and its brilliance. Okay, so this one is nice and easy to find because it's on the border of the map, and you've got this obelisk looking thing as a nice reference point. So as always, GPS is on the screen, and I promise you guys, you will absolutely love this location. It caters to all styles, whether you want to build small, whether you want to build big, whether you just want to prefab, whatever the reason is. This location, it can even be a main base if you want it to, and I'll show you why now. So like before, we're on the border of the map. We've got lava to our right as instant protection, and then right here you've got all this flat space. I mean, the fact that it's flat as well as a hidden location is just perfect. My builds, don't judge them. They're not for you to copy. You could build way better in this situation, but just to show you its benefits, from this angle, it's the only way people can get there on foot. You can't even see the base. It's cut off by the cliff. And again, you're on the edge of the map, so it's just less of a chance that people are going to be wandering around here. And like I say, this is raised above here. It's got lava, so it's a natural protection. So one thing you've got to remember with Genesis, it is for low profile base locations, it is absolutely lovely because there are no flyers, so it's far easier to conceal your base from enemy players. Okay, so this location right here is another quite sneaky one, and continuing the trend of living next to the map border. And like I said, bear in mind that Genesis is a no-fly zone, so building up on ledges, building up high if you can, is going to benefit you massively. So this one, as you can see, nice little box on the corner of the map, and we're on raised ground here, so beneficial for many reasons. I don't really want to beat around the same bush. You guys can see why this is good. I don't want to have to keep repeating myself. And this one I've given you two options as part of two locations as part of one option. So if you think that one's not low key enough for you, just go on the raised platform above. You've got shadow, you've got a cliff above you, then you've got even less of a chance of being seen. So two nice options here. You can see them both in my view, and from an opponent on the ground, chances are you're not going to be found. Okay, so for this next location, we're also in the bog. I wanted to try and cover as many biomes as I could, but unfortunately that's quite difficult with Genesis. But I thought I'd go with a couple in the bog because it's the easy zone. It's where the vast majority of you are going to be spawning. This one is two locations, but I put it as one out of the top 5 purely because they're so close. As you can see, we're on the map border. GPS is on the screen at all times, so you can see where you are. And if we just come down from the very corner of the map, as you can see, we're not in a mission area, so we are allowed to build. And we've got a nice little base right on the border behind the trees. Admittedly, it's quite visible, but I just don't see any reason for anyone to be sort of teetering around the corner of the map. But you've got quite a lot of space, and it's flat there. And as I'm showing you now, you've got a nice little metal spawn, which leads us to the same location, but just another base. These are for you guys who might be a little bit more paranoid about building right out on the open on the edge. We've got this space right against a cliff. I had to build kind of bizarrely here purely because I have the build restrictions. So for those of you on unofficial, you could probably build into the wall and you'd be even more camouflaged on a nice little Nitrado server. Yeah, as you can see, same old benefits as the last one. But as I say, with all of these locations, just build them to your strengths, whatever suits you best. And for this next location, we're going to the volcano, and we're sort of applying the same technique of hanging around the border of the map. And once again, for those of you who are curious, I am kind of looking for something to do on Ark. At the minute, I'm playing on a unofficial server just for a bit of fun to get around Genesis. But obviously that gets old pretty quickly. Unofficial is fun, but it's just never quite what official's like. So if any of you have any ideas, any options for me, please let me know. Get in contact. I've got more time than I could ever need at the minute, and it's a real good opportunity to get back into YouTube. But yeah, if you appreciate it, just leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one.